Hello, my name is Bethania Ackley, and this is my informative speech on migraines. I'd like to thank my audience members for being here today, including the cameraman. First off, I'd like to start by saying that I myself am a migraine sufferer. There are two types of different migraines, one of which is known as a simple migraine, or a migraine without aura. An aura is associated with neurological things such as blurred vision, tunnel vision, SARS, also hearing and smell issues. When it's really bad, there's numbness in the arms and face, and it's pretty much impossible to work or go to school or do anything. The neurological symptoms that are associated with the migraine with aura last typically 30 minutes and are followed immediately by a migraine that may last up to 3 days. During a normal migraine or a migraine without aura, there is severe head pain, sensitivity to light and sound, and in worst case scenarios, vomiting and nausea. In a lot of cases, migraine sufferers that are chronic migraine sufferers also fall victim to depression because their lives are pretty much a half-life. They can't plan things. They never know when a migraine is going to happen. There's no known cause of migraines. The research has studied them for a very long time, and all they can come up with is that it's in some family histories. There's still not a cure, although there are medications. Medications over the counter typically don't work for most severe migraine sufferers, so they have to go to their doctor and get prescription strength medications such as Zomig or Maxalt or Imitrex. I personally have to take Maxalt, and it does relieve the pain and other symptoms that are associated with migraines. However, when it is a migraine with aura, it takes a little longer. I typically have to wait an hour, hour and a half, sometimes 2 hours before I can get relief from the pain of a migraine, even with medication. Unfortunately, some people don't even get relief from that. A lot of misdiagnoses are accompanied by younger migraine sufferers because typically it is research known that it's around 35 to 55-year-old sufferers. I personally had my first attack with aura at 18 years old and was not properly diagnosed until 30 years old. They kept telling me I was too young to have migraines. I had anxiety. I was hyperventilating. They all had excuses, but none of them are right. More severe than normal headaches is something that a lot of people don't understand. Unless you've had a migraine or know somebody close to you that's had a migraine, it's easy to just assume that, oh, well, they're just complaining they have a headache, so what? Well, that's not true. Actually, migraines are a real neurological disease, and they are severely painful. And in worst case scenarios, you cannot do anything. You can't even get out of bed. There's a lot of triggers that are associated with migraines. Caffeine, too much caffeine, not enough caffeine. Sleep, too much or not enough sleep. Also, if you skip meals or wait too long to eat, that can cause a migraine. If you go outside and it's too bright, that can cause a migraine as well. If you're somewhere where there's too much noise. Also, if there's a lot of stress in your life or a lot of anxieties are present in your daily life, that can also trigger a migraine. Unfortunately, for those people who like to have a little fun, alcohol is also one that triggers migraines. Allergies and mold and pollen, if you notice, watch the news, sometimes they give you a level of what the mold pollen is or something that day. I've noticed that my migraines happen on days that it's really high. Changes in your routine or travel also can affect whether or when you have a migraine. I personally have noticed that the weather change makes a big difference. I know that it's going to rain when I get a migraine. every single time I have a migraine, almost. Next day it rains. So the barometric pressure does make a difference in when you're going to have a migraine. According to the World Health Report of 2001, they said that migraines are one of the top 20 causes of disability among adults of all ages, and is the most common neurological condition in the developed world, and is more prevalent than diabetes, epilepsy, and asthma combined. There are 8 million migraine sufferers in the UK alone. I'm 34 years old. I've had them since I was 18 years old. Sometimes I have 3, sometimes I have 9. It's a half-life, but with medication and knowledge, it can be a life. The purpose of this speech is to inform others about migraines. I personally wish I would have known a lot that I know now back then, but like I said, I didn't know until 30 years old that I could even get medication or help. Knowledge about migraines means, for those suffering, help and consideration. I mean, like I said, a lot of people that don't have migraines don't understand that it's not just a headache. So if you know someone that's suffering from migraines, turn off the lights, turn down the noise, and just give them time to get over it. I hope this speech has been informative to those of you who'd like to know more about migraines. Thank you very much. Thank you, audience.